Today, I am determined to get as much VC as I possibly can to turn this 75 overall no money spent build into an 85 overall by the end of today's video. You might even call this BC hunting. But if you're like me on this 60 to 99 no money spent journey and have been running online games with your boys, then you know trying to get high stats and a good teammate grade can be hard to come by. I mean, if I spent over $100 to max out my build, I wouldn't pass the ball either. Now don't get me wrong, getting carried in 2K is a rite of passage for a no money spent player, but it comes to a point where you've made a few upgrades and started labbing up your jump shot and dribble moves, and it's time to put your foot down and finally become a valuable player to your team. Especially since the BC you get directly ties with your stats and teammate grade, I am determined to try and get player of the game at least one time this whole video. Also, while I was reading the comments from the last video, you guys made it known that I missed out on one of the best VC methods in the entire game, so I'm definitely going to touch on that later on in the episode. I also want to thank you guys for hitting 40,000 subscribers. You guys are amazing, and I have a dream of hitting 50K by the end of this year, so if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that sub button, because without you guys there wouldn't be a no money spent series, and I promise you I wouldn't be doing this. So with all that out the way, let's get it started. From the last episode where we tested every way to make VC in 2K26, I found that playing 3 Pro-Am gives you the most out of any online game mode per time spent. On top of that, the player of the game gets an extra 250 VC, so I can really knock out 2 birds with 1 stone in here, running up a ton of VC and getting my player of the game objective done. This, however, was easier said than done. Like I said before, running with guys who spent their life savings on the game and trying to convince them to give up the ball is not so easy. On top of that, I like to win, which means if I sat here forcing up shots for the hell of it, I don't think we would see a lot of these "you won" screens. Also, with each game only being to 21 points, there's not a lot of room for 2K to consider what makes somebody player of the game besides the amount of points they have. So even getting a decent amount of assists would not do enough to secure my player of the game slot. The good news was we were at least winning, but sadly, I never got my player of the game during this run. But at least I did run up a decent amount of VC. We ended up with 5 people in the PlayStation party, which gave me a good idea to head into the wreck. Even though these games take a little longer, there are more chances to earn extra VC in here. For starters, these games are long, which allows for a higher stat line for 2K to consider who the player of the game is. On top of that, the player of the half gets an extra 100 VC, while the player of the game still gets that 250. So if I can find a way to put the team on my back, this could be exactly what I needed. In this game, you know, I didn't do too much on the scoring end, definitely didn't get player of the half, but maybe these 8 assists will tell 2K I deserve player of the game. Right? I thought my 8 assists could overlook the fact that I'm the second lowest scoring person on my team, but I guess I was wrong. I don't know, this shit might be rigged. You know what? Who needs wreck right now? If you truly want to make some VC, breaking streaks is the only true way to do it. Right here, these guys have a fresh 2500 VC on their head, and I got time today. This game, I was low-key in my bag, I cannot lie. I mean, who was really out here dropping a whopping 6 points on some consistent shooting? These guys did end up beating us, but yo, I really feel like we can beat them, and because I really don't care about my record this year, we are 100% spinning the block again. We even picked up that boy Josh for this one, so you already know we were going to get this win with no problem. How do we lose worse with Josh on the team? But damn it, I'm in too deep at this point to quit, so back around I go. They always say 3 times the charm, but those who stop at 3 are 1 step away from missing out on greatness. This is kind of a blessing, okay? Because if we beat them, we wouldn't have raised their pot up to 5,000 VC. So, you know, we were kind of leaving VC on the table if we already beat them.
Pulling up over and over and over. Y'all want the VC that bad.
You thought the VC merchants were just a name. Nah, it's a lifestyle, buddy. Now, I'm nearly 99% sure this guy is using a Zen, but we were keeping up in this game. And by we, I mean the 2 guys on my team. Sniping from 3 back and forth for a majority of the game. From playing these guys over and over again, we knew the only way we could take the lead on them is if 2K screwed them over somehow. And with the game being tied up 16 to 16, our prayers were answered. When the opposing center tried to take out the ball, it hit the bottom of the backboard, allowing Plasma to keep the ball in play, and it hit straight towards Josh. With the opportunity of a lifetime, I'm finding Plasma in the corner for 3, and he's gonna knock it down, giving us the lead. That will be short-lived, however, because of course the Zenner would clap back with a 3 of his own. With the game on the line and the laser beam pointed at Earth, I want Josh up to the plate to clutch it for us. Let's go! That's what I'm talking about, Josh. That's why we put you on the front lines right there. 5,000 VC, man. Let's go. And I contributed so much to this win. With 12,000 in the bank from that, I'm gonna max out my ball handle to an 86, and now I am a 76 overall. And after that, of course, I had to get into the lab and find the best dribble moves. In reality, I just looked up a Glock 19 video and copied all of his. But hey, I didn't even realize I hit Rookie 5, allowing me to finally see my cap breaker screen, and this build definitely has some potential to be a beast if I can keep racking up these cap breakers. With the confidence of that win, I wanted to go back to the rec and get that player of the game because I know I have the ability to contribute, especially now that I have a maxed out ball handle. I cannot lie, I was absolutely cooking up this game, banging jumpers and throwing dimes at my guys. And these new dribble moves are leaving my opponents stunned, allowing me to get some crazy clips. Unfortunately though, I forgot the most important part about getting VC in the rec. You have to win. I really don't like losing in the rec because it feels like the last 25 minutes of your life was basically for nothing. But I feel like if we just spin the block again, we could pull this off.
I just ran out of stamina so quick.
You know what? After reading more of you guys' comments, apparently I didn't go as deep as I could have into my career, and I was just leaving tens of thousands of VC on the table. So to take my mind off of online play, I'm gonna go deeper into these my career endorsements, starting with continuing the passion project objective, playing with Tyrese Maxey in the open runs. And that's gonna give me my 500 daily VC. The next endorsement I wanted to complete is the State Farm objective, where it's the same as the previous years, where Jake from State Farm would just pop up in your place out of nowhere, and you have to beat him for 500 VC and some State Farm merch. Next is the merchandising tier 4, where all I have to do is get 2 20-point games and I get a whopping 7,500 VC. Oh yeah, let me go ahead and get these done real quick. I guess another mode that I didn't really go in depth with in the last episode was how long these my career games take and how much VC you get for them. That was honestly cause I thought everybody just knew that my career is the default method for VC, but both these games I played took approximately 18 to 20 minutes, getting me a little over 1,000 VC, which is around 55 to 60 VC per minute, which would have put it right in the middle of our list if we were stacking them up from last episode. But after doing both of those games, that's an extra 7,500 VC to add to the wallet. And the next merchandising tier was looking even easier, but with this 20k sitting in the account, things are looking pretty good right now. And I wanted to try my hand at the spin the wheel again in the hopes of hitting a jackpot, and how did I get 2 times rep again? I wanted to continue the passion project quest before starting a whole nother game and wanted to do my lethal shooting drill to try and get rid of a couple of these code zones. But jumping straight into the next my career game, all I have to do is get 25 points with 12 assists. I only have to do this one time too, which makes this goal super easy to obtain. Okay, 2K is really out here shelling out the VC, I'm not gonna lie. I really hope they keep the rewards the same and don't do some crazy patch that lowers everything. After finishing this game, I'm hitting it big with an extra 10,000 VC earned, and tier 6 is looking beautiful right now, with me only needing to complete the passion project for a whopping 12,500 VC. And right now I have over 32,000 VC sitting in the account. This damn near feels illegal. Through this whole journey, my crew has been putting in some work with us being at level 16 right now, with over 40 members. But I will be doing some kicking if I don't get that unlimited boost soon. I also decided to put my specialization on shooting because mostly it was the only one I could see this build finishing consistently. Taking a look at my endorsements, State Farm wanted me to get 20 good screens for 1k VC, so of course I had to go ahead and put some progress towards that. On top of that, I'm getting an extra 500 VC from an objective I didn't even know I completed. I started to hit that offline fatigue wall, so I decided to hop back into the park, hoping to get my player of the game objective complete. But man, we got our ass tore up this whole session, I cannot lie. Definitely was a sign to stay away from the park for right now, but I am sitting with 46,000 VC in the bank, which is absolutely crazy. But with this, I'm finally going to have the opportunity to start contact dunking, maxing out my vertical, and getting my driving dunk to an 87, and now I am a 80 overall. You guys already know I had to throw on some dunk packages and go test out the dunking in this game, and let me tell you, if you don't have a build that can fly in NBA 2K26, you are missing out on a whole lot of fun. I can already tell this new run and dunk man ability is gonna put me one step closer to my player of the game objective. In between these dunk test games, I went ahead and upped my O board because it's really cheap and I got it up to a 70. But like I was saying, I can tell that the player of the game objective is in the bag. Too bad it's not in this bag right now. Hey!
Hey.
Alright.
Come on. Ooh, okay.
Why the fuck am I
A
missing
little
so
spin,
much?
step back, cross. Hey! Oh, this build is actually pretty fun now. What the hell? I decided it was time to continue the passion project objective, playing with Cat in the open runs, and it's time to finish this stay farm objective, getting all these screens, and I was able to do this with no problem. I even got another 1000 BC from the 2K endorsement, and now I'm on the cover of NBA 2K27. All my dreams have come true. I can finally hang up the sneakers. And going back to the open runs and playing with Cat one more time, this was officially the last thing I needed to do for the passion project, and that's going to be 12,500 VC straight into my pocket. And with 18,000 VC now sitting in the wallet, I'm going to finally max out my layup to a 75 so I can stop bricking these wide open ones, and that's going to get me to an 82 overall. I also got 1,000 VC from the wheel that I forgot to record, and I'm going to put that on my O board and max it out. If I want to get this player the game so bad, I might as well hop on the ones court. Like, I'm the only player on the team, so I have to get player of the game. Ah, he quit. Damn. AIs aren't that hard to beat this year, are they? Aren't you supposed to be able to just run around them? Okay. How am I supposed to score? Alright. I don't know how I'm supposed to do this. Oh, okay. Alright, yeah. Okay, but they shouldn't be able to score that easily. Alright, you know what? Fuck it. Fuck this. I'm just gonna close it up. Yeah, so I'm just gonna call it a day on this one. But now I'm sitting at an 82 overall with most of my finishing maxed out, and there should be no reason why I can't get this player of the game objective done in here. Especially in this game where I was showing out on all ends. The driving dunk was going crazy, and I was still able to pull it from range. To top it all off, I even dropped 13 dimes getting a double-double. Bro, there was like no way 2K cannot say I wasn't player of the game. We even got the win too, and I just know they're gonna give it to me. They did not. Okay, you know what? Maybe Peter deserved the player of the game. Okay, I'll say that. I'll say that. I'm hopping straight into another game, and you know what? I'm gonna play even better this time. Yeah, they're not gonna expect this masterclass performance. With 21 points and 12 assists, I have to be player of the game. Okay, I get that he dropped 40, but 21 points and 12 assists, come on. Throw me a bone or something, please. I even tried one more time, and even though I was definitely the highest scoring person on the team, looking at that scoreboard, it was really all for nothing, man. You know, maybe I'm thinking about this all wrong. Maybe running in the park is not as bad as I think to get this player of the game objective complete. Looking at this first game with me running with Peter and his boy Wavy, we were down a majority of this game, but I was still out here getting active. I'm even gonna clutch up hitting a leaning 3 to get us the lead for the first time all game. And Pedro was gonna sink in a 3 to finish this off. But I had a smooth 11 points, which means mathematically, I had the most points on the entire team. And since 2K rewards the guy with the most points, that means I got player of the game, right? Bro, what? I had 11 points. Oh, this shit's rigged. This is actually rigged. What the hell? You know what, guys? These other games really didn't mean anything, okay? What really matters is player of the game when there's VC on the line. And I'm going to get player of the game too. I am guaranteed to win this game right here. I can feel it. And even though these guys were purple plates, that didn't matter to me because I was shooting lights out on the perimeter. Hell, I didn't miss a single shot on the 3-point line the entire game. And just when they started playing up on me, my driving dunk and mid-range game came through. Unfortunately, with 2K's contest system being cheeks, this game ended up getting tied 20-20. But right now, I have 13 points and a guaranteed player of the game waiting for me if we could clutch up this last possession. They were obviously going to be on me for this last play of the game, so I had to find my boy Peter in the paint, and look at this screenshot, man. No one in the paint, 6'11", hella standing dunk upgraded, maxed out badges. There is no possible way in hell Peter could miss this shot, right? Peter, I know you're lying. Peter, I know you're lying. There's no way. There's no fucking way, bro. That was heartbreaking, but with 10,000 VC in the bank, I'm finally making some upgrades to my block to get high flying denier on bronze, and that's gonna get me to an 83 overall. And after playing another red game where of course I had no shot of getting player of the game, I decided to go deeper with what you guys are calling the best VC method, and that is doing Street Kings. Now Street Kings is the exact same as Street Ball from last year, but this time around 2K put more rewards in here, and there are quite a few VC rewards. So I wanted to see how long long it would take for me to level up in here, so I just started spamming opponents to go against. And it looks like you get very little XP towards rewards for just one game, so this might take longer than expected. Now granted, these games don't take long at all to complete, but I was expecting a little easier slash better rewards for this mode. You guys were claiming to be the best. I mean, at the end of it, I only got to level 3 and just decided to do my daily reward instead. But if Street Kings is what you think is the best for you, I would say keep doing it because there are a decent amount of rewards here. But personally, I'm gonna just have to stick with the open runs, at least until I get all my badges maxed out. But Street Kings isn't a bad method at all. I would have to give it 4 out of 5 stars, just one below open runs. And for the next 2 hours, I will be spamming games in the theater back to back to back to back because I was hella determined to get player of the game, especially before I upgraded to an 85 overall. And right here, I might have got blessed by the 2K gods going against a team full of 70 overalls. You can tell how much I wanted this because I'm out here putting a putback dunk into my bag out of nowhere. I wanted each member of the opposing team to fear me in this paint today, and I might have been a little selfish to make sure I scored the most points out of everybody, but I didn't care. It's been too long of a journey to give up this golden opportunity. And after a long battle and 8 overalls up from the beginning of this video, I have finally completed my player of the game objective. And with 12,000 in the bank, I'm gonna max out my block and up my speed, and the goal of reaching 85 overall is complete. And you guys already know the drill. If you guys want me to continue this no money spent series, get this video to 1,000 likes and I got y'all. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.